A franchise legend is standing at a crossroads that could change the New Orleans Saints forever. While the front office has been making calculated moves to secure the future, one iconic figure might be heading for a sudden exit that nobody expected. The tension inside the building is reaching a boiling point as trade talks intensify behind closed doors. With a former coach lurking in the shadows and a replacement already in the building, the loyalty of the organization is being tested. Is this the end of an era, or just a business decision? You won't believe where he's heading. Alvin Kamara is the name on everyone's lips right now as a shocking mock trade proposal from Fox Sports has sent shockwaves through the Big Easy. The report suggests that New Orleans is seriously considering moving their superstar back to the Denver Broncos before the 2026 NFL Draft. This isn't just a random rumor. The Saints have been quietly open to trading Kamara for several months now, looking to offload his contract while they can still get value in return. The landscape changed dramatically when the front office decided to bring in fresh blood to the backfield, signaling that they might be ready to move on from their veteran leader. Kamara, who is now 31, is coming off a season that many insiders consider the toughest of his career, plagued by nagging knee and ankle injuries that hampered his elite explosion. Despite his deep ties to New Orleans and his previous threats to retire rather than be traded, the lure of a reunion with Sean Payton might be the one thing that changes his mind. Denver is looking for veteran leadership to steady their young offense, and Sean Payton knows exactly how to utilize Kamara's unique skill set as a receiver out of the backfield. The compensation being discussed is surprisingly low, with picks in the late rounds being the projected price tag, which shows just how much the Saints prioritize the salary cap relief. However, the emotional weight of this trade for the fan base cannot be overstated. Watching an all-time great leave for pennies on the dollar would be a bitter pill to swallow for the Who Dat Nation. The front office is weighing the benefits of draft capital and financial flexibility against the locker room impact of losing such a respected veteran presence. But what makes this deal truly inevitable is the presence of the man who was brought in to take over the throne, a player whose arrival essentially wrote the writing on the wall for number 41. This move signals a total shift in philosophy for the Saints' ground game. The question is no longer if they will move on, but how soon the paperwork gets filed. There is one specific factor in this roster construction that makes the Saints feel comfortable enough to pull the trigger on this franchise-altering transaction right now. Do you think the New Orleans Saints are making a massive mistake by letting a franchise icon like Kamara go for late-round draft picks? This decision will define the direction of the team for the next 3 years. We are tracking every single internal development regarding this potential trade. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and know exactly what is happening inside the Saints front office, you need to subscribe to the channel right now. Hit that like button to support our coverage. Will this trade lead to a championship run or a total collapse? Travis Etienne is the primary reason the Saints are even entertaining the idea of moving their legendary running back. When the front office secured Etienne in free agency, it wasn't just a depth move. It was a clear statement of intent. They wanted a younger, more explosive lead back who could carry the load for the next 4 to 5 seasons without the injury history currently trailing Kamara. Cohen's though, comes out with a win, provides that dynamic playmaking ability that the offense lacked when Kamara was sidelined last year. The coaching staff is reportedly enamored with Etienne's vision and his ability to fit into the new blocking schemes they are implementing this offseason. By having Etienne firmly entrenched as the starter, the Saints feel they have the luxury of trading away a veteran contract to balance their books. This isn't just about talent on the field. It is about the long-term health of the Saints' salary cap, which has been a point of contention for years. Etienne's presence allows the offensive coordinator to maintain the same level of versatility in the passing game, as he is also a capable receiver out of the backfield. For the Denver Broncos, the logic is equally sound. Sean Payton is looking for a specific type of intelligence in his players, and Kamara's understanding of Payton's system is second to none. Even in a reduced role behind J.K. Dobbins or R.J. Harvey, Kamara would serve as a high-level chess piece and a mentor for the younger backs. The trade would involve the Saints receiving a 2026 7th-round pick and a 2027 7th-round pick, a return that seems small but represents a massive win in terms of moving Kamara's salary. For a team like the Saints that is constantly dancing with the cap limit, these moves are the no-brainers that the front office looks for. They are betting on the youth and durability of Etienne over the history and sentimentality of Kamara. It is a cold, calculated move that shows the Saints are prioritizing a hard rebuild over holding on to the past. The internal scouting reports suggest that the drop-off from a healthy Kamara to Etienne is minimal, while the financial gain is substantial. This transition period is always difficult for a franchise, but the coaching staff believes that Etienne's fresh legs will provide the spark they need to return to the playoffs. The move seems imminent as both sides look to finalize their rosters before the upcoming draft cycle begins. Mickey Loomis and the Saints front office are currently navigating one of the most delicate transition periods in the history of the franchise. The decision to move on from a player who has been the face of the offense is never easy, but it reflects a broader strategy of getting younger and more athletic across the board. By clearing Kamara's contract, the Saints gain the flexibility to address other glaring needs, particularly on the offensive line and in the secondary. This is about more than just one trade. It is about a total culture shift within the organization. The coaching staff is leaning heavily into a more modern, fast-paced offensive identity that favors the physical profile of players like Etienne. Looking ahead, the 2026 NFL Draft becomes even more critical for New Orleans. Accumulating these late-round picks might seem insignificant to some, but for a team that excels at finding gems in the later rounds, it provides more bites at the apple. The Saints are trying to avoid the trap of holding on to aging stars for too long, a mistake that has hindered other franchises during their rebuilding phases. This move also sends a message to the rest of the roster. Nobody is untouchable, and performance and availability are the only things that matter. If this trade with Denver goes through, it will officially mark the end of the Sean Payton era's lingering influence on the roster, ironically by sending the last major piece back to Payton himself. The fans might be divided, but the internal logic is consistent with how the Saints have operated recently. They are moving toward a future where the team is defined by collective speed rather than individual star power. This strategy carries high risks, especially if the veteran leadership in the locker room becomes too thin. However, the front office is confident that the new leadership core, led by players like Etienne, is ready to step up. The next few months will reveal if the Saints have the stomach to fully commit to this youth movement or if they will hesitate at the last second. The impact on the 2025 season will be immediate, forcing other veterans to pick up the slack in terms of production and locker room presence. The Saints are betting that the future is brighter without the burden of the past, even if that past was filled with highlight reel plays and franchise records. The potential departure of Alvin Kamara signifies a monumental shift in the New Orleans Saints' identity, marking the true beginning of a new chapter for this storied franchise. It is a moment of bittersweet realization for fans who have cheered for number 41 through every touchdown and every broken tackle over the years. This isn't just about a trade. It's about the evolution of a team trying to find its way back to the top of the NFC South by making the hard choices that winning requires. While it hurts to see a legend potentially wear another uniform, the arrival of Travis Etienne offers a glimmer of hope for a more explosive and sustainable future. This move represents the cold reality of the NFL, where the business of the game eventually catches up to even the greatest icons. The Saints are choosing to be proactive rather than reactive, a philosophy that will determine their success for years to come. We want to hear from you. The heart of the Who Dat Nation. Is trading Kamara for late-round picks the right move for the long-term health of the team, or should he be allowed to retire as a Saint no matter the cost? Your opinion matters, so drop a comment below and let's start the conversation. This is a massive turning point for our team, and we will be here to cover every second of the fallout. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and have your notifications turned on so you don't miss any breaking updates on this developing situation. Don't forget to like the video if you appreciated this deep dive into the Saints front office strategy. The future of New Orleans football is being written right now, and it's going to be a wild ride as we see how this roster takes shape. Stay tuned, because the news in the NFL never sleeps, and neither do we when it comes to the Saints. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next update. Keep the faith, New Orleans, because the best may be yet to come. This is the insider report you can trust. See you in the next video for more exclusive Saints news.